Okay. All right. Since I missed yesterday's stream because I was exhausted by tamale manufacturing.
Tamale fatigue.
Yes. Thought I'd try to make it up tonight. And this is another adventure game I've been wanting to check out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
While The Drifter picked up a lot of the accolades for like best adventure game from last year. This also got quite a bit of acclaim.
Oh, okay.
And looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
very John Core.
I did see this also came out last year.
Yeah. Very spoopy. We got ghosts.
Yes.
We got Louisiana.
Yes.
I'm sure there will be a gator or two.
Yeah. Wonder how many Norco references we'll find.
Sure. Interact, quick travel, exam. Okay.
They said there was a treasure on the island. Its location, known only to the dead. I could see it in my dreams. How was I supposed to know that in order to find it, I'd have to die too?
Some like young guy trying to find a bunch of treasure also gives me Monkey Island.
I was gonna say, I wonder how much Monkey Island DNA might be in this.
Yeah.
Oh, AJ Locasio.
Yeah. Murphy McCallan is an extremely adventure
Yeah,
game
it sure is.
protagonist name.
I think AJ Locasio is a friend of like some Funhouse people.
Okay. Yeah, I recognize the name.
Yeah. I do like these pre-game credits like it's in like an old movie.
Yeah, it's very cinematic. Someone's hanging a coffin up vertically like that, you know. Something bad is.
Yeah. That's not how you do a coffin.
That's how you imprison Dracula.
Yes. James Harrison, after retiring from the NFL,
Yes.
is making songs for adventure games.
Yep.
Talking about complaining about participation
Well, I
trophies.
think
Yeah.
you're a fool. Everyone on Devil's Rock knows what happened to that house. Over 30 years it stood empty now. Locals won't go near it. I say all it contains now is dust, cobwebs, and bad luck.
I don't have time for ghost stories.
Then what do you want with it?
33 years ago, the Belmore Trading Company was wound up and absorbed by the state. The owner's dead, the heir nowhere to be found. Money was missing from the company accounts, and it's still unaccounted for. I'm here to find it.
So you're a treasure hunter.
Not quite. I'm an auditor.
An auditor. Records,
Oh.
taxes, all that
This is
stuff.
like an Obra
Think of me
Dinn
as
venture.
the adventurer of the accounts book. But on this case, I'm out of office and on location. At 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, the state's claim on that money lapses for good along with my commission. So I've got one night to find it.
Oh
I'm
my.
overdue for a meeting with the parish comptroller to reopen the case.
You can get there maybe a week
Comptroller
earlier.
Yeah.
wouldn't happen to be Theodore Grimes, would it?
Yes, I believe it is.
Would be hard to convince him, I'd say.
Why's that? I'm a good talker.
He died about 4 days
Oh,
ago.
no.
I'd wager he's waiting to be buried in St. Juniper Cemetery, stiff as a board.
Okay, that might be tricky. Talking to the dead isn't quite within my skill set.
Remember what I said about that house and bad luck?
My bad luck started long before that house. It's a 3-day journey to get here, and it took me 7. And ever since my suitcase got dropped overboard on the steamer, all I have to my name is a pocket watch, a magazine, and $1.
Less than $1.
Classic adventure game
You owe me
inventory.
for the taxi ride.
Let's see the taxi. I have to admire the sort of look and shape of that taxi.
That's neat.
And here's your change.
I feel like
Didn't you
that's
say
what all
you'd
the
take me into
Scion
town?
cars are inspired
You
by.
can walk from here. No one with any sense would go further onto this island at night. And remember, the tide's coming in. Within the hour, you'll be cut off from the mainland until tomorrow.
That suits me.
Okay, so we
Took the
drove
pocket
to
watch
the
out of my
island while
vest
the
and clicked
tide
open
was
the
low.
cover.
I see.
Must be a causeway or something.
Yeah.
I've got 13 hours to find $13 million.
Unlucky for some.
Sounds like a Mr.
Really
Beast
dead
video.
set on it.
Yeah.
Here's a tip. Go find the Spirit Queen.
Since you're not in an ugly blue
The Spirit
jumpsuit.
Queen?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I think you'll find you mean, what's that? Good luck, Murphy McAllen.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. Maybe I never told him my name, and it's supposed to be ominous.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an alligator.
Yeah, there's our first alligator spotting
Yeah.
out of maybe many.
Yeah.
The Spirit Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Walking into the port town of Deadnettle, I could sense its history in every stone, brick, and plank. Echoes of merchant ships loading and unloading all manner of cargo from expeditions throughout the Caribbean. Gold and treasure that may still lie hidden on the island. The door was locked with a sign in the window saying, "Closed for private appointment, reopening shortly." I could see two gentlemen inside the store. A spindly man with a wiry mustache had his face pressed against a display cabinet, while a diminutive older gentleman tried desperately to pull him away. I'd seen similar behavior in Laurel and Hardy pictures.
That's a way to get him to run.
Yeah.
Puppets?
The puppet show hadn't started yet. Set up on the seafront was an elaborate carved wood puppet theater with Pulcinella painted across the top.
It'd be very disappointing if this game set up a puppet theater, but it remained closed throughout the
Oh.
entire game.
Yeah, we gotta take in the puppet show.
I shook the gate, but it wasn't going to open. Down the passageway, I could make out a portion of an illuminated courtyard and the echoing trickle of a fountain. The decorative iron gate was closed with a secure lock. The poster advertised billiards at the Captain's Club, with 3 billiard balls and 2 cues framing a cube of billiard chalk. A faded poster had been pasted on the wall of the alcove. It had clearly been there for years.
Slap me with a paddle. It's a whopper. Well, blast my barnacles. That's the third one tonight. These fish sure must have been spooked by something.
I thought better of swimming out to the wreck. As best as I could tell, all it contained was dock mud and the future promise of an antibiotics prescription.
This
The tip of a wooden boat poked above the water, clearly the remains of a rather unfortunate expedition.
I just noticed your mouse cursor is a Ouija board.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Ouija board cursor.
Yeah, I don't know what you call those, but I know what you mean. A Ouija board mouse.
Yes.
Blast this guy's barnacles.
Are the fish biting?
Not so well today, to tell the truth. That was the first nibble in hours. I'm Ned Kipps, by the way. I haven't seen you around here before.
I'm here because I have a very important job on this island. A calling that only I can fulfill. dark secrets that I need to uncover.
Oh, you're a tourist. Now, why on earth would you choose Devil's Rock as the place to vacation?
I must have done something to upset my travel agent. The name's Murphy McCallan.
Nice to meet you, Mac. Not peckish, are you? You can help yourself to what I got here in my bucket if you like.
Oh, thanks.
Free fish?
My expectations of a
Maybe
local
crab?
seafood delicacy quickly unraveled when I plunged my hands into what felt like
Oh.
lumpy jelly. Ugh. It was a handful of fish guts.
You just
That's the
put
best
in your
bait to get
shirt.
around here. They smell pretty bad, but the critters on this island love them. Who would have known they're good at suckering in tourists, too?
Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Heard of her? Sure. But I wouldn't be heading out into the bayou at this time of night.
If she's out there, that's where I need to go.
Murphy, the bayou's dangerous. It's not the kind of place you want to go alone.
I'll be careful.
Well, if you're set on it, just take the western route out of town, left at Pimlico Rock, then right on into the bayou. Without dark it gets in there, you'll see the lights guiding you the last stretch of the way. Just make sure the gators don't get too attached to you.
You know it's serious when he calls you Murphy instead of Mac.
Yeah.
What's life like in Dead Nettle?
Well, it's not the hustle and bustle it used to be, but it suits me just fine. The ships just don't come through Dead Nettle anymore. Not since the disappearance.
You must have been talking about the Belmore wedding. The locals actually believed the story. Have you ever considered moving to the mainland?
Nah, I wouldn't like it over there. Crazies, oddballs, crackpots. The mainland doesn't have any of them.
No, I was going to say.
What's that you're reading?
This is Herman Melville's Moby Dick.
Are you enjoying it?
I'm struggling my way through it, to be honest. I thought it was a how-to book. I must prefer the last book I read. It was much more action-packed.
What book was that?
The Encyclopedia of Fishing Lures, 3rd edition.
I'm going to get back to exploring the island.
I wouldn't go looking for it if I were you, you know.
Excuse me?
The folks this island gets now either seem to be looking for something or running away from something. You look like you're doing both. You got your eye on that Belmore treasure, and I wouldn't be doing right by you if I didn't warn you to stay away from it. I know this island has a reputation for the macabre, and it's all fun and games in the beginning, but dig too deep, and you end up in the place you don't want to be.
What makes you think I... Ned looked at me in a way that told me my playing innocent wasn't going to work. Okay, that's right, but I'm not a grave robber. I'm an auditor, contracted by the state.
It don't matter what your reasons are, Mac. You need to be careful with that house. Us locals, we don't go anywhere near it.
I appreciate the concern, but who can really say they've seen a ghost?
I have, Murphy, and I'm not the only one. Ever since the disappearance, anyone brave or foolish enough to go up to their house has seen the same thing. You might say it was moonlight shimmering off dusty glass, the shadow of a tree branch, or a curtain blown by an unseen breeze. But deep down, we all know what we saw.
What did you see?
The Phantom. It's not something anyone will forget. Every
Mask.
poor soul who's seen the Phantom has been plagued by the most awful experience. Night after night of endless nightmares.
Uh-oh.
Months of restless sleep. Just visions of faces. Evil faces. Laughing. It's like it can infect your dreams.
And who do you think the Phantom is? Or was?
Nobody knows. But it must have been someone at that awful wedding. Someone who doesn't want to leave the house. Or doesn't want to let anyone in.
I appreciate your concern, but I have a job to do. I don't think my boss would be too happy if I report back that ghosts and ghouls are what's standing in my way.
You're not the first to come looking for the treasure, you know.
But if I find it, I could be the last.
Whether you find it or not, I hope that's true. For everyone's sake.
I feel like
Ned's
his
talk of
fishing
nightmares
rod
was
is
the
like
last thing I needed to be worried about.
drawn
Even if
so
it was
carefully
a
that I
job.
have to steal
Ever
it at
since
some
I
point.
read about
Oh,
the
yeah.
Belmore treasure, all I could do was dream about finding it.
Oh, it's
I don't know why your mouse cursor turned into a skull.
Yeah.
Right there.
it's my fish guts. Oh, chum. Change. I gotta watch. That's a magazine. Merry and Macabre. The Vanished One.
Oh my.
Okay.
Everything you need to make your own kazoo.
Oh boy. Text is a little small for me to get to
Yeah.
this point. Maybe I'll read it on my PC.
Sure.
Seems to be some backstory. We'll see if we get that through the game.
Well, viewers can just pause.
Yeah.
Get to that part of the
Billboard poster was peeling away to reveal layers of advertisements underneath, like some sort of consumeristic onion. Of all of the papers pinned to the board, one article stood out to me. It showed the beaming face of a rotund fisherman on the docks with a headline declaring he'd just broken the island's heaviest catch record. A notice board stood outside the newspaper office, containing a mixture of advertisements and front pages from previous issues. It was the door to a newspaper office. A note on the door said, "Out on a scoop. Back later."
Oh, gotta get those skies off the clothesline for some reason.
Clothesline was decidedly out of reach, even for a person who wanted to steal someone's freshly laundered undergarments. I wasn't one of those people.
Looking for hot spots. I don't know if there's a way to turn. Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Hit spacebar.
They're literal flames.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to climb the mast. I had neither the proficiency with electrical equipment nor the desire to get electrocuted.
If I do need to get electrocuted sometime later.
Yes. That's right.
The fishing net was worn and useless. Using it would have been like trying to catch soup with a sieve. As I returned to the beach, I could see the causeway was now fully flooded over by
yeah.
the rising tide. I was trapped here until dawn.
Child now.
Yes. Out on the beach.
Hello? Little girl? You lost your mommy and daddy? It's late. There could be a lot of strange people around.
Yeah, I think I'm talking to one.
Okay, yeah, this is
Maybe
definitely
I
a
should
little girl
introduce
from an
myself.
adventure.
My
Yes.
name's Murphy McCallan.
Of
What's
a
yours?
type.
Mallory Wisp, angel on the outside,
is a good name.
malevolent force of disparagement, derision, and disorder on the inside. At least, that's what Mrs. Huxley wrote in my school report. Hey, do you know what an enfant terrible is?
Do your parents know you're here?
Of course they do. This is my happy place. I come here when I need to cheer up.
What's got you down?
It's my birthday, and I didn't get the present I wanted.
Well, happy birthday. Is being out here helping?
A little. It's a nice place to plot my revenge.
This doesn't sound like an appropriate way for a little girl to spend her time.
Little girl? Little girl? What am I supposed to like? Posies and princesses? Tiaras and tea parties? Those are not my thing.
How are you planning on getting revenge?
I'm not sure. Currently, I'm at the plotting and ruminating stage of my plan.
What are you plotting and ruminating about?
How things would be different if I was in charge of the world. We had a school project last week. What we want to be when we grow up. Mildred wanted to be a baker. Bobby wanted to be a firefighter.
What did you want to be?
Queen of the universe.
I guess no one can accuse you of lacking ambition. Do you think you could fix the world's problems and make the world a better place if you were in charge?
Oh, absolutely not. It would be far worse. My patience is worn so thin with all the idiots around me. I don't know if it would be wise for me to wield that much power. You to the dungeons! You to the torture room! It would be very cathartic for me, though.
What present did you want for your birthday?
A doll?
A doll?
What's wrong with wanting a doll?
Nothing. I just didn't expect it. It doesn't quite fit with your whole aura.
I'm still a little girl. I don't have to defy all your stereotypes. Instead, I get this stupid tin boat. I know Sebastian's got something to do with it, too. He was all over the tin boat when I showed him my toy catalog from Mulligan's.
Is he one of your friends?
Not in a million years. You can see right through him.
You ghost?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shouldn't you be heading home?
I I'm in trouble at home. Mrs. Huxley held me back for detention yesterday. Again.
What did you do?
I convinced 3/4 of the class to sign over their eternal souls to me in exchange for some jelly beans. Third graders are remarkably easy to manipulate with a bag of candy and a little peer pressure.
Why did you do that?
You've got to speculate to accumulate.
Why did you want their souls? What use do you have for them?
Just making sure I'm prepared. And that's just step 1.
I didn't dare ask what she was preparing for. Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Look, if Maury put you up to this, you can tell him that I have no intention of going anywhere near his big, boring boat again. And anyway, those skulls look better with a little lipstick on them. I even made some cowrie necklaces for them, but nope, if we have a skeletal uprising, they're just going to have to maraud without being dolled up. And they'll have to take it up with Maury.
Who's Moray?
Nope, not falling for it.
Do you like living on Devil's Rock?
This island is cut off from society, an isolated microcosm of the dark and macabre. If I'm honest, it fits me quite nicely. Lots of places to explore, too, when I'm not banned from them.
Where are you banned from?
Where am I not? The Captain's Club wouldn't let me in after I declared a mutiny. The lady at the newspaper office kicked me out when I tried selling stories about a zombie uprising. The witch doctor in the bayou threatened to hex me if I didn't stop sneaking on board and borrowing his toys. And the gravedigger banned me from the cemetery when I played a teensy little practical joke.
What did you do?
I convinced him the stiff he'd buried was still alive. People are so antisocial around here.
I better get going.
I wouldn't walk across the beach again if I were you. This beach is covered in quicksand. I can hop along the surface, but with your weight, you'll be sucked down like a noodle.
What's that
Oh, no.
supposed to mean, huh?
Really? This beach has quicksand?
Nah, I'm just messing with you. Tourists.
Despite the little girl's disparaging look at her tiny toy, I doubted she'd be okay with me commandeering it. I didn't want to take the little girl's balloon from her. Her brooding face made it more than clear that it wouldn't be a good idea to get on her bad side.
So I can't just steal from children, at least not yet.
I peered into the tide pools, but all I could see was pebbles, sand, and seaweed.
Location, I can go to.
Oh, there's another
After
second
what felt
alligator
like miles,
swelling.
the eerie darkness of the bayou gave way to the soft orange glow of a gas lamp. And beyond it, the last thing I expected to find in the heart of the swamp.
Oh, there it
Hand-painted
is.
lettering on the side of a paddle wheel revealed the Spirit Queen wasn't a person, it was a riverboat. Its hull sagged, the wood swollen and split from years in the swamp. Peeling paint curled like dead skin, and what remained of its once grand decks now tilted and crooked. It looked like a wedding cake that had been left to rot.
That's... I sure hope you don't have to get past that gator in
Oh.
some strange, elaborate way.
Yes. Just give
I
them fish
considered
guts.
climbing the water tower, but I couldn't imagine what I'd find at the top other than stagnant, moldy water. And there was plenty of that in the bayou already. The damp air of the bayou had swelled the window in its frame. It would need more force than my bare hands could supply to open it. The glass of the window was so thick with dust and grime I couldn't see through it. I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked. The wooden shack had a single door. From the moss growing on it, it looked like it hadn't been used for years. The sign read Dockmaster. Presumably, this little shack was where documents and licenses pertaining to the riverboat's operation were stored.
Go talk to the gator.
The alligator snapped at me like a sprung trap, giving me more than enough reason to stay well away from those teeth. If I wanted to get across the jetty, I needed to make sure the alligator wasn't on it. A fierce-looking alligator blocked my way along the jetty. A broken chain hung from its neck like a leash, but this creature definitely wasn't under control. Its milky eyes stared past me, but I could tell from the way it shifted. the way its nostrils flared, that it knew exactly where I was.
Okay.
A swiveling wooden crane used to load up cargo in days gone by stood halfway along the jetty. Nope.
That's what
Hand feeding the alligator didn't seem like a good idea. What if it bit off more than I was offering?
Here. A shrunken head.
Oh.
As I took the shrunken head from the sign, it almost seemed to grin at me. Creepy. I may have been new to the bayou, but even I knew that plunging my hand into alligator-infested waters wasn't a good idea. It was the kind of water that made you question every ripple. Was it the breeze or something hungry? It was a shrunken head with wispy white hair and tightly shut eyes. The shrunken head was already disturbing enough without shoving rotting seafood inside it.
Unique
I
dialogue for trying
couldn't
to
do
combine those two.
Yeah. Gotta be something to do with this.
Yeah.
crane. It's sailing right over the gator. Even look, cause
Yeah.
it's a little. Oh, yeah, I said clicked on it. Great, yeah.
It was the Spirit Queen riverboat. Decks rotting, smokestacks toppling, and its hull sinking into the gator-infested bayou. The only way aboard was along the rickety jetty.
Back here. I wonder if maybe we could. Puppet show was open. If we could get a puppet somehow, and that would be like a doll for the girl.
Uh-huh.
But it looks like it's still.
We need to open the puppet show.
The puppet show hadn't started yet. A paper sign hung on the front of the theater. One side displayed the flair and fanciness of a person skilled with a fountain pen. The other side revealed it had been written on the back of a cut-up cereal box.
That was John.
There you go. Boat nest. Picture right there.
Why is it a skull?
Good evening, Ned.
Hello again, Mac.
Does that mean Ned's going to die?
You didn't tell me the Spirit Queen was a
Portent.
riverboat.
Oh, sure. That thing's been moored up in the bayou with her keel kissing the mud for years. Witch doctor lives aboard her now. Claims to sell all manner of hoodoo and voodoo. But to believe that, you need to be dumber than the bachelor in New Orleans, throwing beads at the Sisters of Mercy.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
To make use of that, I needed something to weigh.
How much does my shrunken
Yeah.
head weigh?
That wasn't going to work.
Oh.
Okay. Like a shrunken head?
Yeah.
Kind of doll-like. At least it's part of one. Maybe I need to.
How would you like to
make
trade
one.
your tin boat for this?
A doll?
At least the head of one.
Deal!
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, I'll hug him and kiss him and conquer the world with him.
Prepare to weigh anchor. A helium-filled balloon bobbed gently in the breeze. She seemed busy with her new friend.
Oh,
Someone new here.
This must be the reporter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing.
Mr. McAllen,
Yes? How do you know my name?
it's a work assignment that brings you to the island. Am I right?
She began staring at me with intense, hypnotic eyes. Disguised within her tailored outfit and tortoiseshell spectacles, she had the crazed look of someone not entirely in touch with reality. That's right.
An auditing job.
Eyes that looked like she was reading my very thoughts. Yes?
And you're late. Days late.
I was beginning to panic. Ned had warned me about the supernatural on this island. Was this person standing in front of me equipped with psychic powers that could read my very thoughts? How do you know all this? Are you the witch doctor?
The witch doctor? No. It was written on this telegram that came in for you. It came through a few days ago now. Your boss isn't too happy by the looks of it. Bill Bolam, the taxi driver, telephoned and said I'd find you out here.
You're reading my telegrams?
I'm a newspaper reporter. It's one of the best ways to get a good story. Now, do you want it or not?
If you wouldn't mind.
McAllen, you're late reporting in. I don't remember authorizing the reopening of a cold case, but you better make sure it pays off, or you'll be swapping desks back to the mailroom. Sid Sinclair, Sinclair Auditing Company.
Do you want to send a reply?
What was there to say? My only contact was going to be pushing up daisies by morning, and my one lead was the magazine I'd been carrying with me since heading out. Before I checked in with my boss, I needed some progress to report badly. You know, for now I'll just leave it.
Suit yourself.
Traded
Sounds
a
like you're up to
shrunken
some
head
fun
for
on
a
the
toy
island,
boat.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Be a sweetie and keep me updated so I have something to write about, won't you?
She didn't even wait for a reply before she started striding back through the bayou. She hadn't taken a single thing from me, and yet somehow, I still felt like I'd just been mugged.
Took your privacy.
It was the telegram from my boss. It read,
McAllen, you're late reporting in. I don't remember authorizing the reopening of a cold case, but you better make sure it pays off, or you'll be swapping desks back to the mailroom. Sid Sinclair, Sinclair Auditing Company.
If I can get him to read any of the magazine for me.
Yeah.
It looks like it just changed its page.
the tin boat puttered around the swamp, but didn't draw the attention of the alligator. I would need something that targeted his nostrils.
I see where we're going. Now we can.
I
put
packed the
guts in
fish
there.
guts into the tin boat. It was the smelliest little ship to sail the 7 seas. Perhaps this would attract the gator's attention. The hulking mass of scales and muscles lumbered to
is.
the edge of the jetty and dangled its toothy jaws over the side, its nostrils flickering at each waft of fish guts.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay, just knock him in.
Yeah.
With a splash that would be the envy of any cannonballing kid at a pool party, the irritable reptile disappeared into the murky bayou. I just hoped it didn't hold a grudge.
Well, when we have to leave the Spirit Queen, we might run into.
The achievement says find a way past Mephistopheles.
Okay, that must be the alligator's name. And I saw it was "See you later, alligator." was
Oh,
the
okay.
achievement.
The taxidermied fish looked like it was barely hanging on to the rotting wooden
Get my
frame.
own
Deciding
singing
it would
Billy
be
Bass.
better coming with me, I picked it up.
Okay, good. So this he's
Doing
fine
so
with
tore
sealing.
a long hole in its previously stitched up seam.
Okay.
Just like Monkey
It
Island,
was the
we're gonna have a
taxidermied fish I'd taken
our
from the
own
riverboat,
voodoo lady.
with a ripped
Yes.
seam opening up to the stuffing inside.
Maybe named Moray based on what the girl said.
Yeah.
Spirits and
Oh, my.
spectres from realms yet unknown, guide to me the wanderer who searches alone. Welcome, Murphy McAllen.
Everybody knows my name.
How do you know my name? Have you been reading my telegrams too?
I have no need for such trivial paperwork. I have eyes all over this island. Now it's time for me to see you for myself. Come, step into the light. I know a lot about you, Murphy. Unknown parents, a childhood spent in orphanages. I know things about you even you don't know.
How do you know all that?
My name is Dr. Moray. I am a conjurer, a shadow man, a controller of spirits that balance the line between life and death. And those spirits whisper to me. But for now, it's your time to talk, Murphy. Tell me why you've come to my humble abode.
I've been told you could help me.
That depends on what you seek.
I kept telling myself that the doctor's theatrics didn't convince me. That there must have been a logical reason why he knew what he did. But with how skittish the locals were, humoring him seemed like my only chance of learning more. I'm looking for the $13 million that went missing from the Belmore accounts. I'm an auditor in the company I work for.
Murphy, do you take me for a fool? I know what your mind sees when your eyes are closed. Tell me, Murphy, what do you dream of?
I dream about finding the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
I see that spirit within you, hungering for more than an auditor's life. And I know you've dreamed about that treasure every night since you first read the story. Tell me I'm not right.
It's like the treasure is calling out for me to find it.
Many have sought the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. All have failed. Some, it is said, have perished in the process. Do you know what happened at Belmore Manor all those years ago?
The ghost story? I've read it, but I don't know how much of it is really true.
All of it. Dark magic runs throughout Belmore Manor. The house was built by the Belmore brothers, 3 merchants from England, who made their fortune trading across the Caribbean. Xavier Belmore, an explorer. Yardley Belmore, an actor. And Cecil Belmore, a scientist. Their parents dead for many years, they each loved and cared for their young sister, Abigail.
Abigail is the
Abigail
perfect
made
name
a
for
young
a
sailor
girl on a spooky
who worked
story.
aboard her
Yeah.
brother's ships, and in less than a year, he proposed. The engagement was a scandal.
Oops.
Despite having the pick of any eligible bachelor in high society, her hand and her share of the Belmore fortune was to go to a commoner.
Ew.
Because of their unconditional love for their young sister, the Belmore brothers sanctioned the union. But people began to wonder if Abigail was being locked into marriage, whether by blackmail or black magic. The 3 proud brothers planned a grand wedding, but in the months leading up to it, one by one, each of the brothers was lost, presumed dead. And yet the wedding was still to go ahead. And with Abigail set to inherit the entire Belmore fortune once she came of age, people began to wonder whether the sailor was not a perpetrator, but a pawn. On the morning of the wedding, Abigail summoned the sailor to her chambers. "I don't love you," Abigail declared. "I never loved you." And before the guests gathered in the house, Abigail declared that she would marry another on that same evening. John Rackham, first officer of the Belmore Trading Company, would be her new groom. Except that didn't happen. That
Twists and
night,
turns.
everyone in the house suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Perhaps it was the last revenge of the scorned sailor. In the house that night was a heart that would be broken, a victim who would be tricked, and a force that would unleash evil. But no one knows exactly who each was. If you want to find the treasure, Murphy, you'll have to find out.
You're telling me that all of that actually happened?
And so much more, Murphy. Mysteries you have yet to uncover.
Dr. Morey's performance was gripping, but it seemed like something out of the vaudeville shows I'd snuck into as a teenager. Grifters peddling magic spells, fortune-telling, and miracle elixirs. At least that's what I tried to tell myself. And the treasure, is that real too?
It is as real as you are, Murphy. And someone went to a lot of trouble hiding it.
Can you help me find it?
I can. If you can prove your dedication to the search, I will need you to retrieve something from inside the house. A small leather pouch called a gree-gree still lies inside Abigail Belmore's bedroom. We will need it if I'm to help you. This will get you inside.
Oh, okay.
Levitating keys out of whatever this is.
Yes, pool of green liquid as you
You're not going to pull
have
a
in your
rabbit out
house.
of your hat for your next trick, are you?
I do not do tricks, Murphy McCallan. You'll soon learn this. The Belmore estate lies at the end of the northeastern peninsula of Devil's Rock. Find that gree-gree and bring it back to me.
Oh.
I'll be here when you return. And Murphy, this ghost story? Now it's your story, too.
That seems somewhat threatening.
Yeah. Well, Mephistopheles still gone.
Yes, that's good. We'll have to make it up to them later.
Yeah.
Get the gator on our side.
Framed by trees and lit by moonlight, Belmore Manor stood imposingly in the still night air. Even without any lights on, it felt like something inside the house was calling me, or warning me. I considered wading into the pond, water up to my waist, squelching my way through the reeds and mud, past frogs, bugs, and water snakes. Then I realized I had absolutely no reason to do that.
Oh, we'll find
A large pond lay in front of the house, slowly being reclaimed by algae, weeds, and who knew what else. Belmore Manor stood proudly and enigmatically at the center of the estate. Who knew what had gone on inside its walls?
Gazebo here.
Mm-hmm.
From the
Horseshoe?
patina of rust,
Yeah.
it was clear the patio set hadn't been used in decades. Ouch!
Oh,
This explains why I'm going to
So
start
much for
seeing
good
ghosts
luck.
pretty soon.
yeah.
All just a traumatic head injury.
Picked up the horseshoe that had assaulted me.
This is whole
It was heavy,
story about
as the bump on my
CTE.
head
yeah.
attested.
Let's go back to the island or this back of the house.
Looking out over the tranquility of the gardens, its magnolias lit by moonlight, nothing could take my attention away from the macabre sight dangling from the oak tree. A hanged skeleton, its wedding suit little more than tattered rags clinging to bone, and its skull seemingly watching me with hollow, unblinking eyes. An eternal groom without a bride. The skeleton hung high up in the tree, swaying with each slight breeze. Even from down on the ground, I felt disturbingly close to it. The stark trunk of the tree didn't offer any possibility of climbing it. A dying tree stood next to the balcony, its branches devoid of leaves, its bark flaking away. A skeleton, clothed in wedding attire, hung by the neck from a branch of the tree. Glinting in the moonlight was a wedding ring it still held clasped in its bony fingers.
Feels like something we'll need at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We pick up a wagon wheel or a carriage.
The wheel was too heavy to move. A barrel hung from a rope marked in stenciled writing, molasses.
Sticky situation.
The barrel dangled from the rope like a piñata, but having this burst over my head would be the first step in getting tarred and feathered. The doors were firmly locked from the inside. The knot was tied so tightly I couldn't loosen it. A cow skull was mounted on the frame as a macabre decoration.
Okay, then we come back.
Oh, okay.
I thought this was going to lead back to the island. I guess it just takes us around.
Belmore Manor stood proudly and enigmatically at the center of the estate. Who knew what had gone on inside its walls?
Time to get spooky.
With a deep breath, I placed the key into the lock of the house I'd been thinking about for weeks and turned it. Hello? I don't know if I expected a reply, but with only an echo in response, it seemed like nobody was home. I hope that was just the wind. It was a pair of decorated wooden doors. An orb appeared seemingly from
Slimer.
nowhere, glowing
Yeah.
and shimmering with energy, simultaneously captivating and terrifying. It was
Oh,
like
you
it had
brought
a
a new
presence,
high C flavor.
aura that I couldn't explain. My first instinct was to look for smoke and mirrors, but this illusion was right before my very eyes, one that I could reach out and touch.
Touch the ball of light.
Huge paintings hung on the walls of the hall. It was a painting of Abigail Belmore, hauntingly beautiful. The door didn't have a visible lock, but as much as I tried, it wouldn't open. Without a flue, the fireplace seemed entirely decorative, and yet, standing in front of it, I could feel a breeze.
Get in there.
A marble fireplace sat between the two curved staircases, guarded on each side by stone lions. It was a family portrait of all four Belmore siblings. The three brothers stood around their seated younger sister.
I'm guessing most of these doors are going to be shut
Like
to
the
me
other
for now.
door, this door had no keyhole, yet still seemed to be locked too. The two sea deities stared at me with disapproving eyes. I didn't know what I could have done to disappoint a statue. It was a stone statue depicting two Greek deities of the sea, so skillfully carved it looked like the water droplets on their skin might drip away at any moment. It was a painting of the gazebo I recognized from the cliff top.
That way. we got to explore first before we get murdered by a ghost.
Yes.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Clearly, the artist had managed to imbue the brushstrokes with something of the subject's personality. It was downright sinister. The portrait exuded an unsettling aura. I didn't know who it was, but I didn't like the way he looked back at me.
Drunk.
I tried to open the trunk, but in the darkness I only managed to fumble unsuccessfully with the latch.
I'm not going to bother trying all these doors because I assume they're all locked. Let's follow the ball.
Ghost Rider.
It is. I'm going to learn something cool about reading.
Yes.
Oh. Room with some light.
Yeah.
This was strange. I didn't remember seeing any lights on when I was outside the house. Walking into the room, I realized it must have been Abigail's bedroom. I was in the right place. Somewhere in this room was the Gree-Gree, and I needed to find it. The sheets lay flat on the bed, undisturbed for more than 30 years. The Gree-Gree wasn't going to be there. The portraits hung tight to the wall and didn't reveal anything hidden behind them. Lighting the fire may have warmed the room, but it couldn't take away the chill I felt standing there.
Okay, there's a dustbin down there.
I tried to lift the ashpan grate, but decades without use had rusted it in place.
A poker.
I took the poker from the hook.
Get out.
Oh.
I hope that was my imagination.
Be funny if it was just the little girl playing.
Yeah.
with her drink on us. It sounded kind of like her.
Yeah.
Oh, something gonna appear in the mirror.
It was best to leave the vase where it was. The music box was locked with no visible keyhole, but a distinctive indent on the front looked like it might be the mechanism to open it, if I had the right key. I couldn't see anything special about the phonograph's reflection.
Just need to check out the drawers.
The phonograph didn't have a record to play. It was an old phonograph used for playing music. I wedged the poker in the grate, and with all my might, pulled. I picked up the object that had been glinting in the fireplace and discovered it was a jeweled brooch. It was an ornate brooch that had tarnished with age. What should have been a sparkling gem was now grimy and dull.
Gee.
Yeah.
See you having any nice brooches.
The music box was locked with no visible keyhole, but a distinctive indent on the front looked like it might be the mechanism to open it, if I had the right key. The brooch fitted snugly into the indentation in the music box.
Oh.
With a small click, the music box opened and revealed the contents it had held untouched for more than 30 years.
That looks like a pouch.
The small leather bag was just as the witch doctor had described. It was hard to imagine what could be so important about it.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
You should not be here.
Wait, I can explain.
You don't belong here.
I don't mean any harm.
Get out. Get out.
You could have taken the front door.
With good fortune, the pond had broken my fall. It
I
was
did
a
end up in the
strange
pond.
juxtaposition,
Yeah.
wiggling goldfish out of my underwear as I tried to process the fact that I'd just been the victim of an attempted murder by a ghost bride. The stories were true, so that meant the treasure might be real as well. And now I had the Gree-Gree. It was time to return to the Spirit Queen.
Oh, back.
Back. Yes. Convenient.
Murphy, Did you find it?
I saw her. I saw the bride. She tried to kill me.
I told you it was true. Now, do you have the Gree-Gree?
Yes, I found it.
Good. Good. Now, do you believe what I've been telling you?
I'm starting to. Why did she try to kill me?
There are some spirits that, even in death, do not wish to give up what they amassed in life. The question is, are you strong enough to persuade them?
I would be if they'd give me a chance to ask them.
Precisely. That will be our next step.
No. More stuff out of the green liquid.
A manuscript for a voodoo spell? A spell to help me find the treasure?
A spell to reveal those who know where it is. There are many things on this island that have gone unseen. Stories that have been left unheard, at least by mortals. But I commune with realms beyond. Let me introduce you to a friend. Out of the shadows, the cursed and the damned. Return now, my servants, to do
Oh god, is it
my
Mephistopheles?
command.
That would be great.
Oh, it's a person.
I have returned to you, Master.
Loa, this gentleman
Loa.
wishes to find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. Tell him how this can be done.
Only inhabitants of the house know where the treasure lies, their spirits still within its walls, trapped between life and death. To ask them, those spirits must be pulled back to the mortal realm.
And that is what our spell will do, Murphy. A summoning spell to unveil the ghost trapped within the house.
7 ingredients place inside, tie closed and then unseal. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
Once you've collected all 7, we can summon the ghosts of Belmore Manor. Once we've summoned the ghosts, we can ask them exactly where the treasure was hidden. You have served me, Loa. Be gone. That, Murphy, is your goal. Find the 7 ingredients named in the voodoo manuscript, place them in the Gree-Gree, and return to the Spirit Queen. Are you up to the task?
I think so.
Excellent. Then there's just one thing left to do. The Gree-Gree that you carry is not yours. It was stolen from the spirits. And an artifact of voodoo will only work for its rightful owner. To be used, it cannot be stolen. It can only be bought, or traded, or inherited. Fortunately for you, the spirits and I are willing to make a trade for something symbolic of your spirit. The spirit that yearns to escape its humdrum life. If you want the Gree-Gree to be rightfully yours, what do you have to offer in exchange for it?
Fish.
Yes.
Would the spirits trade the Gree-Gree for this?
This is no Mardi Gras fish fry, Murphy McCallan.
I think probably this.
It was the pocket watch I'd been given when I reached 5 years as an auditor. I didn't know whether it was to celebrate the fact or rub it in.
Like it's the only thing I have that's related to me.
Yeah.
And not something I've just scrounged on the island.
What about this?
A pocket watch. A symbol of the life that doesn't satisfy you. A symbol of lost time. Dare you give it up?
I think I can do without it.
Then cast it into the spirit pool. The spirits have deemed it a satisfactory trade. The Grigri and its powers are now rightfully yours to wield. You are ready now, Murphy. Head out to the island and retrieve the ingredients we need. Then I will show you the final step of the spell.
How am I going to find what I need?
Everything I've ever needed for my voodoo spells, I've found here. It's as though this island draws the supernatural to it. The bayou, the beach, the town, the manor, all will help you in your search. Tell me, Murphy, have you visited the mill to the north, the fort to the south, the church at the island's heart? The island will lead you to that which you seek.
New locations.
I have no doubt about that.
Bunch of stuff to collect, so.
How are the ghosts trapped within Belmore Manor?
The explosion is what sealed their fate. They exist now only as spirits, the form they should take in the spirit realm, and yet they remain here in the mortal realm. The ghosts are trapped in that house, unseen, unheard, and unable to interact with the world around them. This spell will change that.
How is the bride able to attack me when she's supposedly unseen and unheard?
Voodoo works best when attuned to emotion, and the strongest of those emotions can sometimes push beyond the known limits. She must have been very angry with you.
If I summon the spirits of the house, won't I also summon the bride again?
Very true, Murphy. Best be a little more persuasive this time.
What was the explosion that caused everyone to disappear?
It was a tearing in the very threshold between life and death, a chain reaction of spirit energy suddenly unleashed by the most violent of emotions. Just as the bride's anger allowed her to manifest in front of you this very evening, think of the rage that must have caused an entire household to explode and vanish.
Who is the creature that you talked to?
That is my Loa. The Loa are the mysteries, the invisibles, the messengers.
Is it a ghost?
No, they are the intermediaries between humans and the supernatural. There are two planes of existence, Murphy. The mortal realm and the spirit realm. Loa can move between them both. With my powers, I can command them when they do.
How did you learn voodoo?
I have always been adept with the mystic arts. Just as you dream of treasure, Murphy, I dream of power. I came to Devil's Rock many years ago, drawn by its voodoo energy, and no sooner than I arrived, the spirit realm began to reveal itself to me, pleading for me to be its master.
Why is this island such a focus of voodoo energy?
I suspect the answer to that question already lies in what you're seeking.
What's this riverboat we're aboard?
This is the Spirit Queen. It used to be a pleasure boat, plying the rivers around the island, a den of drinking and gambling. That's how I came to own the boat. A lucky game of chance. But between you and me, Murphy, it's a lot easier to win when you have spirits to control the roll of the dice.
It sounds like you cheated.
Fate was always gonna bring this boat to me. I just hurried it along.
Do you keep an alligator as a pet?
That's right. My dear old Mephistopheles. Blind as a bat, but with the smell of a bloodhound. Good thing he's chained up safely in the boiler room.
No, he isn't. He was out on the jetty when I was trying to get aboard.
Where is he now?
Swimming in the bayou.
Oh dear, not again.
I'm going to go and find the voodoo ingredients.
Hurry back.
Oh, it's part of the heart one, all right.
It was the kind of water that made you question every ripple. Was it the...
cut him off.
Yeah, but I think we already saw that dialogue. Probably examine my new voodoo spell.
Chalk.
It was a crumbling piece of chalk. It was a pair of feathers, both black. It was a small mound of gunpowder. It was a single coin made of silver. It was a bottle filled with rum. It was a fragment of bone. It was a handful of nails, once used to seal up a coffin.
Boy.
Around the illustration was a ring of text. 7 ingredients. Place inside, tie closed, and then unseal. Within the focus, what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
Okay.
It was a manuscript that looked hundreds of years old, with the instructions to a spell that summoned things hidden within. At the center of the manuscript was an empty circle with arrows pointing inward from each of the ingredients. It was marked, The Focus. At the center of the manuscript was an empty...
I do have some coins.
It was the change the taxi
these are
driver had given
silver.
me from our drive across the causeway, a dime and a penny. I placed the dime into the gree-gree. That would work as the silver coin.
Okay, so 1 down.
Yeah.
Making excellent progress.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 3 new locations
Yeah.
here.
There's
Mill.
mill. The lights are on.
Yeah.
A pile of rotting wood lay at the side of the path. The mill incorporated a wooden water wheel that turned in the current of the water channel, presumably driving some kind of gear inside. It was a ramshackle chicken coop with infrequent clucks emanating from within.
Do they have black chickens?
Yes.
Get 2 black feathers.
Cluck, cluck, buck, 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 cluck.
I was
I
really
tried-
hoping. Oops, shoot! I cut him off.
Can't believe it.
Cluck, cluck, buck, 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 cluck.
Hoping someone would walk in on that.
I tried to persuade the chicken to come outside, but clearly I was out of cluck.
Okay, glad I went back for that dialogue.
The inside of the lumber mill smelled like sawdust and grease. Judging from the overgrown weeds, it clearly hadn't been used in a long time, and yet the lights remained on. In the middle of the room was a large sawmill. The conveyor belt would have carried logs up to the blade, cutting them in two. I looked over the machine, but I couldn't find a way to turn it on, if it even still worked. The beam looked to be driven by the water wheel outside. From the multitude of wires fanning out from the top, it was presumably hooked up to a generator. The hatches were locked. From their shape, I deduced they were for storing lumber, and I wasn't in need of any 2x4s. On the wall hung old saw blades, undisturbed since the mill was last in operation.
Nope, grease.
If I touched the grease with my bare hands, I'd be spending hours trying to wash it off. The electrical safety of the panel looked questionable. I wasn't going to touch it.
Come on, be adventurous. Gonna need to touch that eventually.
I tried the door, but it was locked.
Did you check the shelf by the door?
Oh yeah, I don't think I did. Oh yeah,
I
there's
saw
some
it was
auger.
highlighted.
Yeah.
I picked up the auger from the tool shelf. It was a small metal tool used for drilling holes by hand. The door had no indication of what lay on the other side. I guessed it might be an office. A large round beam The beam looked to be driven by the water wheel outside. From the multitude of wires fanning out from the top, it was presumably hooked up to a generator.
Okay, just a sawmill.
Okay.
The wood was old and rotting. It wasn't going to be of any use. And who knew what critters might have made their homes inside the pile?
Ooh.
Spooky old church.
The church door was locked. The inside of the church was silent and still. The window looked into the church, if you could see through the decades of dust and grime.
I can look across it.
In the distance, I could see the island fort. The lighthouse light was off. Embedded into the stony hillside was a large, intricately carved crypt with a decorative geometric pattern on its stone doors.
That sounds like a
I
puzzle.
couldn't see any way to open the crypt door. Not a doorknob, not a keyhole. Whoever sealed this up intended to seal it up for good. The graveyard was dotted with headstones. Some old, some young, some legible, some not. I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for.
Oh, hey, somebody.
Oh, making a coffin.
Oh,
I need those nails.
yeah.
Just messing with stuff.
Stealing.
The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I wasn't going to be able to open it. A shabby-looking coffin lay unceremoniously on the rickety table. A rusty tin can sat on the ground. Its label read, Bloom's Canned Beef, family-sized. Appetizing.
I saw like a
The
billboard
tin was
for
full
that
of nothing but
city.
holes.
That's right.
The tin was full of nothing but holes.
Bellows. Just gonna rob
steal
this
that
guy.
too, yeah.
Yep.
An antique stove burned quietly in the corner of the tumble-down shack. Hello?
Yeah! God darn it! Don't sneak up on people like that! You frighten the dying daylights out of me.
He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. Sorry, you seem a little jumpy.
I thought you were that pesky little girl again.
Oh.
A little girl? That doesn't seem like a reason to be scared.
She's a terror. One of these days she's gonna give me a heart attack. Last week, she showed up with a doctor's note she'd forged, saying a man I'd buried that day was just a very deep
Yeah,
sleeper.
she mentioned
Yeah.
this.
7 hours I was out here digging him back up, at my age.
And was he sleeping?
Dead as a dodo. Just like that little girl will be if I get my hands on her. Who are you, anyway?
My name's Murphy McCallan. I've just arrived on the island.
Well, welcome, Mr. Murphy. I'm Edgar Kettle. Gravedigger, undertaker, coffin maker, and anything else that needs doing to keep this cemetery running.
I'm looking for the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Oh, a treasure hunter. Well, let me tell you something, young man. Don't even think about digging up my graveyard. There's no treasure buried here, and I'm already busy enough filling in the holes that are supposed to be here.
Do you know anything about the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
I think it's important to let the dead rest in peace.
But what if they're not in peace?
Well, you got me there. Listen, I think there's more to that story than meets the eye. You know the 3 brothers went missing, right? Well, if you ask me, I think Abigail Belmore was behind it. She was engaged to a sailor, but nobody like her would go for a commoner.
She might have loved him.
She could have loved somebody with a big bank account, too. I think she must have been using him, pretending to love him so he'd do her dirty work for her, bumping off her brothers. Then afterwards, she drops him and goes to marry the officer of the company. Fiendish.
Do you have any proof?
Yeah, just a feeling, that's all. But when you work with cadavers, you kinda get a sixth sense about things.
What do you think was behind the disappearance?
Well, the sailor must have found out he was being manipulated, right? Done something to get his revenge.
What do you think he did?
Nobody knows. He could have been working his way through those bodies like a madman. All we know is that everyone in that house disappeared. To tell you the truth, I'm quite relieved they did.
Why's that?
Because if they hadn't disappeared, it would have been this old fool who had to bury him. Saved me a lot of work.
Did you make this coffin?
I sure did. But this is no more than a pauper's coffin by anyone's standards. The finest the parish pension can buy. Lock them in lumber, leave them to slumber, that's what I say. This'll end up 5 feet under by the end of the night.
I thought it was supposed to be 6 feet.
You're not the one doing the digging. 5 feet means I get a tea break.
Have you got any spare coffin nails?
No, I don't have any to spare. I've got a backlog of bodies begging for burial. But does the parish increase my funding? Nope. The roof's leaking, my table's broken. I've used floorboards to build some of the coffins. Take my advice. Don't go into this line of work. Undertaking is a dying business.
Do you think I could fit inside the coffin?
Probably not. The gentleman inside might make it a bit of a squeeze.
Yeah. You mean there's a dead guy inside there?
There better be. I can't afford to be burying empty coffins.
Was the little girl named Mallory Wisp by any chance?
That's her. The peril in a pinafore. She got the whole town thinking I was burying people prematurely. I walked past the school the other day, and they'd made up a jump rope chant about me.
Oh, what was the chant the school children made up about you?
Edgar, crazy feller, just be careful he don't get you. How many bodies did he strive to bury while they're still alive?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I wasn't looking for audience participation.
Sorry, I got carried away. Just like you with the burying. Have you ever accidentally buried someone who was still alive?
Has someone been making accusations again?
No, just making conversation.
Well, not that I know of. When you think about it, how would I know?
Shouts for help, desperate shaking of the coffin.
Look, I haven't sealed anyone up who was chatting with me, let's put it that way. I usually check for signs of life, but everyone takes shortcuts sometimes, don't they? I deserve some rest in peace, too.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hopefully not the guy in the coffin.
Not funny.
It's really antagonizing.
I best be running along.
Don't drop dead. I don't want anything else on my to-do list.
Hurry up with the barrels, Morris. We gotta get these unloaded before anyone sees them.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Musket? I don't think we should be using a church as our hiding place.
You're not being paid to think, Morris. You carry those barrels in here and let me worry about the theological implications. This place has been abandoned for decades. There's nobody around.
Nobody living, maybe. What if there's ghosts, boss?
Darn it, Morris. If brains was dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. Now get unloading. And keep an eye out for anyone snooping around.
What if someone catches us?
If anyone asks, we're the new clergy. We tell them these barrels are full of communion wine.
I thought we was rum runners, not wine runners, boss.
Well, this is probably how we're going to get our
Communion
rum.
rum, Daddy.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Remember, St. Juniper's Church is a place to get closer to God. And if anyone questions our alibi, we make sure that happens.
The pair of rum runners looked like the human personifications of the dish and the spoon from Hey Diddle Diddle. The gangly spoon bossing around the rotund dish as it carried barrels effortlessly from the jalopy and into the church. As it turned out, nursery rhyme characters become a lot more intimidating once they have revolvers. The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls.
I do have the auger, but I don't think I have anything to get the rum into.
The jalopy door was
some kind of
locked.
flask
How
or
ironic
something.
that the rum runners would take care not to be the target of criminality. Using the auger, I drilled a small hole in the barrel, and out poured rum.
All right. Get my fish drunk.
Yes.
Nope.
No unique dialogue for that. Just nope.
Just no.
Bellows. Suck it in. The
Nope.
bellows.
No, I don't think so.
That does
Directly into the gree-gree?
Gree-gree would
does-
get doused if I placed it directly in the spurting rum, and I didn't want to damage it.
Fucking rum up with the bellows does seem like a 90s adventure
It
game
sure does.
solution.
It was a bottle filled with rum.
Okay.
Just let that rum pour while we figure out a solution.
Yeah, I'll come back later. Sure, we'll find a bottle somewhere.
Musket, one of the barrels has sprung a leak.
How many times are you gonna bother me? Put a cork in it, will ya?
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Okay. I guess this means we don't have to drill a hole again.
Yes, just drill a second hole instead of pulling the cork out. Fortress.
On the tallest tower of the fort was a wrought iron Victorian lighthouse, clearly out of step with the fort's stone architecture. It was like seeing a pair of spectacles on Michelangelo's David. The lighthouse light was off. The cat was staring at the lantern, mesmerized by the light. Here, kitty, kitty. Psst, 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 psst. It was no use. That cat was clearly more entranced by shiny things than the stranger outside the gate. On the wall, an electric lantern glowed brightly. There wasn't anything to do with the lantern. A coat of arms was carved in stone above the staircase.
Fish.
The fish had been dead for years, was primarily comprised of stuffing, and smelled faintly of formaldehyde. The cat wasn't going to be interested in it in the slightest.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a fresh fish, I imagine. Back to town, see if any new options there.
The fishing net was worn and useless. Using it would have been like trying to catch soup with a sieve. A fishing net had been stretched between two poles to dry, and then clearly forgotten about. The stories about Belmore Manor are true. I saw the ghost bride inside the house.
Blast it, Murphy. Don't say I didn't warn you. This island has had its fair share of the macabre. The best way to deal with it is to leave
That's
well
nice.
enough alone. Why are you searching for that treasure anyway?
Well, it's my job. The state's claim on that money runs out at 8 a.m., and I'm supposed to find it.
You seem pretty passionate about something that's just for work. What are the odds you draw an assignment like that?
Well, I might have made my own luck there. They wouldn't normally authorize an investigation so close to the statute of limitations running out, especially on a 30-year-old cold case. But thrust a stack of forms in front of the boss 5 minutes before clocking off on a Friday afternoon, and he doesn't care what he's signing.
Let's just hope he wasn't signing your death warrant.
Most of my investigations don't amount to more than counting paper clips in a municipal building or going cross-eyed over receipt rolls in a courthouse. When I found that old case folder tucked behind the filing cabinet, its only lead a water-stained magazine talking about a real-life haunted house, how could I pass it up? I spoke with Dr. Moray. He thinks we can make contact with the ghosts.
Moray is a charlatan and a fool. Only got into hoodoo and voodoo a few years ago. Before that, he was an actor over at the Calliope Theater, and not a very good one. He's the only person I know who directed and starred in a one-person production of The Pirates of Penzance. And that's because all the rest of the cast dropped out rather than work with him. He's always been searching for respect and recognition. Who would have known he found it by living in the swamp and reeking of incense?
Don't you believe in voodoo?
I certainly do. I just don't think Moray's got any more control of it than a rooster has control of the sunrise. His understanding of voodoo amounts to whatever he's gleaned from one of those horror pictures Ventura Studios puts out at the movie palace. My mama used to know all about it. God rest her soul. Voodoo isn't some made-up Hollywood magic, Mac. Voodoo's a real religion. It's about community, about belonging, and about searching for something more than flesh and blood. It's not the snake oil he peddles.
What do you think happened at Belmore Manor?
Now there's a tale I don't like to tell.
Can I persuade you to tell it anyway?
I have a feeling I ain't gonna get any rest until I do. You know about Miss Belmore, the bride, engaged to the sailor? Nah, the way I hear, Mr. Rackham was over the moon with her. Such an upstanding fellow. I won't have a bad word said against him. Now he realized that the sailor was going through terrible lengths to ensnare his bride, and Mr. Rackham tried to save her. I heard that the sailor caught on to this and tricked Rackham into giving the lady a gift. That's what made everything go topsy-turvy.
What was the gift?
There are places in the Caribbean that trade things more elusive than gold. Ungodly things.
Do you think the disappearance was caused by voodoo?
And that's what my mama used to say. If you're not careful, that stuff can go to your head.
No luck fishing?
Not a bite, Mac. The Pengoza fish just ain't snapping for me today. Shame, too, because I'm planning on firing up my grill later. And the tastiest catch in these waters.
How do you catch a Pencoza fish?
With hours of patience and decades of practice. You ever wrestled a rod before?
Just the once. I went fishing on Lake Erie, but the only thing I caught was a cold. What do you do with the fish you catch?
A couple I save for myself, and the rest I sell to the Captain's Club. They fancy them up with lemon lobsters, slawfish, something or other. But everyone knows the best way to cook them is to grill them.
Why won't you hear a word against Mr. Rackham?
He gave me my first work on this island, right here on these docks. And I'm still here to this day. He may have worn a scowl, but you don't judge a banana by its peel with people like him, Mac. When I looked into his eyes, all I saw was ambition.
What work did you do?
Loading and unloading the ships that came in. Of course, they just don't do that anymore. Dead Nettle's a forgotten town. Maybe that's for the best.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
Hey, Ned, do you mind if I borrow your knife?
If you need it, Mac, just bring it back to me later tonight, would you? If I'm lucky with my catch,
I'll definitely bring
I'll be
it back.
firing up the grill. You're invited to join me, of course.
I thought we'd have to find some elaborate way to take his knife without him noticing.
Wonder if we could take this netting.
The net was so worn that even if I had cut it down, I'd have no use for it.
I remember there's some kind of rope that maybe we could...
Yeah, I think it was behind the manor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, with the barrel.
Yeah, full of molasses. All right, we can
Murphy
go into
McAllen, so you're still here. What have you been up to? Anything newsworthy?
That's none of your business. Don't think I've forgotten your trick with the telegram.
Hey, it's nothing personal. Your business is my business, and my business is news. I'm Evelyn Stoker, editor of the Juniper Parish Gazette. No misdeed left unshared, no drama left unmonetized. Come on, work with me here, McAllen. I need something juicy. Committed any crimes? Uncovered any affairs? Any deep, personal secrets to reveal?
The honest-to-God truth? No.
I need a good story. I can't let something minor like the truth stand in the way of that.
It was a big, fancy printing press, which must have cost a fortune decades ago, but was now very much out of date.
Don't even think about it. The spring on that printing press looks like it's going to blow at any moment. Yes?
Hi. What are you working on?
One of the most romantic articles this newspaper's ever seen. Francois Fogg, Dead Nettle's local pharmacist, is reuniting with his long-lost love after 14 years apart, thanks to this newspaper's personal ads column.
What a lovely story.
That's right. She mailed in a letter she wanted printed. Her former sweetheart saw it, and now they're on track to see each other again. Eventually.
Eventually?
Well, that's a bit of an administrative issue. In the letter we received, she told him to meet her in her Texas hometown of Magnolia. Due to a tiny typesetting error, he's now on a 6-week voyage to Mongolia. But doesn't it warm your heart how far people will go for love?
Don't you have more interesting stories to write about?
The crackpots this island calls a population wouldn't know something interesting if they paid for it. Which they hardly do. Believe me, I've tried to get juicier stories. Scouring the island, doorstop interviews, hiding under windows.
You eavesdrop on people through their windows?
It's called investigative reporting.
I'm doing some research on the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Have you found it?
Well, no, not yet. I've just started looking.
Then don't waste my time. Come back when you've got the goods.
You might not believe this, but I saw a ghost inside Belmore Manor.
You know what? You're right, McAllen. I don't believe it. Really? You've been on this island how long? And you're already starting to sound as loopy as a local.
Have you ever written an article on the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
What a waste of column inches. Leave it. That's my advice. There's no story in it.
No story?
Not one that anyone would believe. And I've got advertisers breathing down my neck.
What do you think went on?
Practically everyone on this island thinks there was some kind of sorcery involved. No one is looking at the reality. If I write up my research, no one on the island will believe me. If I write their wackadoodle theories, I'll be laughed out of the industry.
You can tell me what you've uncovered about Belmore Manor. Trust me, at this point, few things would surprise me.
I heard the Belmore Trading Company was losing revenue. Its profits eaten up by who knows what ventures those brothers had going on. I've seen the records. The company was privately owned, sure, but when you've got pressure building and the sharks are circling, you've got to shore up your defenses. I think that's why the Belmores persuaded Abigail to marry John Rackham.
Marry someone she didn't love?
But he didn't love her either. He was just after the company, so he hires the sailor to seduce her, convince her there's more to life than Devil's Rock. And as soon as she marries Rackham, they split, never to see each other again. He inherits the lot, and she disappears with her lover boy sailor to who knows where.
But why do you think all the guests disappeared?
They bumped them off to cover their tracks. Either one of them could have been sunning it up in Sarasota ever since. But imagine me writing that into a piece of serious journalism.
Did you know Comptroller Grimes?
How could I forget him? The guy was a walking, talking migraine generator.
Surely you shouldn't speak at the dead like that.
Why not? I spoke plenty worse about him when he was alive. Anyway, I'm sure everything happens for a reason. And hopefully that reason is to increase my circulation numbers. Everything's connected, you know. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? I suspect it works for moths, too, because I can never get the damn things out of here. Some people say that if a man breaks wind in Alabama, it can cause a hurricane in Fiji.
I think I shared a train car with that guy on my way here. I think I better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled for a story, McAllen. There are secrets on the island, and it's my job to run advertisements next to them.
Hanging on a peg at the far side of the room was a battered flashbulb camera. There was no way I was going to get past the newspaper editor to get it. Besides, I didn't know how to operate it. On the floor was a large canister filled with dark black printer's ink. Around it, the floor was stained with ink splatters. I didn't want to get ink all over me trying to carry the canister around. A ball of twine, presumably used for bundling up newspapers, had been left on the table.
I'll take that.
I picked up the twine. With her stunt at the bayou, I figured she owed me one.
Got some scissors.
I picked up the scissors. Maybe she owed me 2. The back wall of the newspaper office was filled with filing cabinets. From the labels on the front, they looked to be archived issues of the Juniper Parish Gazette.
Hey, you can't come back here.
Sorry.
Investigating. I'm looking for a story. Still no puppet show?
The Cactus Club might be open.
Yeah, and maybe over here
no.
as well.
The puppet show hadn't started yet. The sign read, "The Fantastic Fantocchio Brothers will be performing tonight. All ages welcome. Tips welcome even more." Good evening. He looked past me like I was invisible, as though if he ignored me hard enough, there was a chance I'd disappear. I said good evening.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to me.
There's no one else here.
Wishful thinking on my part. Have you taken a wrong turn, sir?
I'm just having a look around.
Well, make it a quick one, and I shall need to know your name.
Murphy McCallan, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Felix Greer, maitre d', bartender, and acting manager of the Captain's Club. When Mr. Perkins has the night off.
What is this place?
This, sir, is the Captain's Club, a private members club for current and retired sea and riverboat captains. We are highly exclusive. Are you a captain?
He asked with a smugness that told me he already knew the answer.
I thought not. Then may I recommend a swift exit? You'll find a convenient egress to your starboard side. If you like, I can give you a good swift kick in the right direction, sir. And don't feel a need to stop walking until your ankles get soggy.
I'm looking for the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Oh, goody! Another young adventurer seeking fame, fortune, or some combination of the two. Just the local color Dead Nettle has been lacking.
What do you know about the lost treasure?
Do you think you're living in a storybook? Weathered maps, talking parrots, X marks the spot? Grow up, you silly boy. Captaincy is a noble skill that doesn't need to be trivialized with childish tales of lost treasure.
You must have some thoughts on the disappearance.
On moonlit nights, when the waves crash against the rocks, the captains of this club trade yarns about this very mystery. Did you know Abigail Belmore's fiancé was a sailor who worked on the ships? Some of the old boys here even worked with him. They say he loved her, as true as a captain loves the sea. But she was a temptress, a siren.
Oh, no.
She scuttled that sailor's heart, consumed by a voodoo premonition that she had to fulfill. More beautiful than a mermaid, and twice as fishy.
What did she do?
After months of engagement, she broke it off and chose to marry an officer of the company instead, on their very wedding day.
Why did she do that?
The rumors I've heard are that they discovered something in the Caribbean, something wicked, something that consumed them and drove them to heinous acts. The Belmore brothers swore their crew to secrecy, and the men were loyal to their word. But the rot in the rope was that sister, Abigail. People say that whatever they discovered took hold of her. With the sailor's broken heart and the officer's resources, she was about to unleash something terrible. Until the disappearance halted her evil plans.
Do you think that's true?
Of course not. It's all nonsense. But the captains do love to outperform each other with such tales on a dull evening.
What makes you think I'm not a captain?
For one thing, you lack the grizzle, the crustiness, the essential R of a captain.
How do I get those?
Years of exposure to saltwater and a sullen, uncooperative crew, I should think. Do you even have a boat?
Actually, I did have one earlier this evening, but an alligator fell on it. Admittedly, it was only 3 inches long.
It isn't the size that matters, sir. It's the motion of the ocean. Tell me, have you ever captained a three-rigger through a tropical typhoon? Have you ever run the rapids of the Mississippi without hitting a single reef? Wind in your sails, fire in your furnace, waves beneath your keel?
Have you?
Well, it's a little complicated.
In what way?
I get seasick.
Is there any way to prove I'm a captain?
You might show me your captain's license. As I'm sure you know, the state of Louisiana requires all captains of both river and sea to carry one. But don't try to foist off a fake on me. Last week, we had someone present a license with a photograph distinctly unlike their contemporary appearance. The photograph was clearly of someone a good deal older than them, with more facial hair, and most importantly, one less eye.
Oh.
You know, I quite like being out at sea.
Oh, really, sir?
Bobbing along the ocean waves, up and down, like one of those roller coasters at Luna Land. Up and down and up and down.
If sir would please be quiet. Else I expect there'll be a few waves of something coming out of my mouth any moment.
Ned told me he sells fish to you. What do you serve here?
Captains.
Right, yes. I mean by way of food.
The Captain's Club serves a dazzling array of sea-sourced dishes, from our house special jambalaya to my personal favorite, Devil's Rock Pancoza, pan-seared with lobster slaw and citrus crawfish beer blanc. In all honesty, it's not very popular. Most of the clientele are absolutely sick of seafood by the time they get ashore. Just the sight of it makes them queasy.
What about drinks?
Listen, if you're from the Prohibition Bureau, we've cleared all of that up with Officer Moe. Fines were paid, items changed hands, and now we're clear.
I'm not from any Prohibition Bureau.
Then forget I said anything. The Captain's Club is strictly teetotal, in line with federal law. Now, if certain members wish to bring in their own medicinals, then we're happy to provide the accompanying aids. Ice, tonic, mixers, and the like, but we serve no alcohol on the premises.
Is the club busy tonight?
Well, we haven't opened yet, but if it's like last week, it'll be quite the lively soiree. I could barely keep up.
The members here like to have a good time?
That's right, sir. Both of them. This town sure isn't what it used to be.
What's happened to Dead Nettle?
Do you think you've wandered into the Tourist Information Center? I can assure you, you'll never meet a tourism official who dresses with this much panache. Stuart LePew, head of the Devil's Rock Historical Society, looks like a thrift store had a crisis of conscience and threw up on him.
I was just hoping to talk to someone so obviously knowledgeable about the area.
Well, yes, that is true. I am plagued with an encyclopedic knowledge of the locality. My concierge duties require it. I have a spiel.
Felix pushed out his chest like this was his moment in the limelight, his eyelids half closing as he performed before imagined crowds.
Welcome, hardy traveler, to our quaint port town of Dead Nettle. Once this town you see around you was a hub of commerce, a beacon for ships bravely navigating between America, Europe, and the Caribbean. With the unfortunate dissolution of the Belmore Trading Company, our town has settled into a quieter life, perfect for the sailor ready to hang up their cap. We hope that you enjoy your time in our cozy town and perhaps explore some of the local sites here in Dead Nettle. Well...
Excuse me?
I was expecting applause.
I best be casting off.
Don't feel the need to rush back, sir.
There was nothing in the fountain except a rim of moss and dirt that made it look like a stained toilet. The courtyard echoed with the trickling noise of a small fountain. It was a fancy elevator with a curious layer of dust.
You can't go up there. It's for members only.
Need to work on my captain disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my second customer of the night. I don't know if I can handle such a rush. Welcome, young man, to Doubloon's Jewelry. Oh, the riches to fill your breeches. Jewels, silver, gold, the finest things for you to behold. Whom do I have the pleasure of meeting?
My name's Murphy McCallan.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you. My name's Jasper Crumb, owner and proprietor. Are you looking for something valuable while you're here on the island?
Funnily enough, I am.
Is there a special someone in your life? Looking for an apology gift, perhaps? I've sold more missed anniversary necklaces and drunken fumble earrings than I can count.
No, I don't need anything like that.
Then how about something for yourself? You look like a working man. Could I interest you in a pocket watch?
Actually, I had one up until about an hour ago. Traded it to a glowing green guy for a magic pouch. As the words left my lips, I realized I sounded like a character from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Pardon me?
I'm just here to browse.
Browse away, young man. I'll be here if you need me.
Good evening, Mr. Crumb.
How can I help you?
How's business tonight?
You're not a millionaire with an enraged fiancé, are you?
I'm not, no.
I didn't think so. Then business tonight is about as lively as a snail drinking decaf. The only other customer I had in here tonight was more interested in the provenance of fossils than the shiny stuff. Booked a private viewing, and then didn't buy anything. Can you believe it? The first time in weeks this shop gets a private viewing, and all they're interested in is bones.
You sell fossils, too?
I sell all the treasures of the earth. If it's under the ground and I can sell it, I'm interested.
I hear Burke and Hare had the same philosophy. What are you selling?
We specialize in jewelry and precious stones. Rings, necklaces, earrings, and brooches in this cabinet to my left. Gems, geodes, and fossils in this cabinet to my right. You'd be surprised at how much of an impact some stones can make. My family can tell you that. We also offer a free polishing service on all purchases from the shop. Just bring it in and we'll shine it up for you. Our little thank you to our loyal customers.
How do you know what jewelry was purchased here?
I handcraft everything this shop sells. I have an encyclopedic knowledge of our wares, Mr. McAllen, going back decades.
What's the most valuable thing in here?
I suppose that depends on how you value things, doesn't it?
In dollars and cents?
Yes, I used to value things that way. But a lack of business has a way of making you more philosophical about these things. Now I'd say the most valuable thing here is Granny.
Granny? Your grandmother is in here?
That's right. In the fishbowl.
Oh,
Granny
boy.
is my goldfish.
Sweet.
You named your goldfish Granny?
Yes, it was the most wondrous thing. The same day my grandmother Bethesda died, I was out at the local fun fair, and I won this goldfish on the ring toss. When we got home, every time we mentioned Bethesda, that little fish jumped out of the water and back on in. We think Granny's passed on into that fish. What do you think?
I mean this with no disrespect, but I think that's the craziest thing I've come across tonight, and I had a ghost bride trying to kill me.
We all have our quirks.
But don't goldfish only live for
I was
a
gonna
few
say,
years?
yeah.
She was your grandmother. She must have died sometime around the middle of the last century.
Oh, yes, that's right. Each time the goldfish dies, Granny's spirit hops into a new fish. We must be on Granny number 44 by now.
Wow, that's
I'm
impressive.
looking for lost treasure.
I'd say you found it. Everything inside these four walls is a treasure, handmade to the finest quality.
I mean a specific treasure. The lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Well, if you find it, bring it in here for an appraisal. I'll give you a good price for it. But that's a pretty big if, isn't it?
What do you know about Belmore Manor?
Oh, it's a tragedy what went on there. But I know what I think. Black magic.
Black magic?
That's right. While some of us make an honest living around these parts, there are others who are lured in by the darker depths of the sea.
Who do you think that was?
Well, it's simple, isn't it? Abigail used to stop by here all the time, taking a gander at the rings and the necklaces. She was a lovely young girl who always saw the best in people. And Mr. Rackham, he was a model for how to run a good business. Honest and decisive. Now, that only leaves one person, doesn't it?
The sailor?
Exactly. I'd heard rumors about black magic going on inside Belmore Manor. I think he was casting his spell on Abigail, making her fall in love with him. Why else would someone as rich as her want to marry someone like him? He certainly couldn't afford the rings and necklaces that caught her eye. I think, come the night of the wedding, she wised up. That's why she decided to marry Mr. Rackham after all, a much more responsible choice for the company.
I think I'll just look around for now.
I'm here if you need me.
Talk to Granny.
There is no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish around with me. A small glass fishbowl sat on top of a cabinet, the goldfish inside swimming around happily. The cabinet was filled with used jewelry, rings, brooches, necklaces, and more. Even secondhand, I would have had to save for years to afford any of them. I didn't need the poster. The cabinet was filled with precious jewels, geodes, and fossils next to a small sign that read, "Treasures of the Earth." It was an ornate display cabinet. The cabinet proudly displayed all manner of gold and silver creations, watches, necklaces, pendants, and more, all made in-house by the jeweler. It was an ornate display cabinet.
What a nice young man. Isn't he, Granny? I couldn't have put it better myself.
You still have the brooch on you to... Yeah, you do.
Oh, I do. I could show him that.
I wonder if...
Yeah.
Could polish it for you.
Welcome back.
Excuse me, would you be able to polish a brooch for me?
Let me take a look. Oh, well, 18-karat yellow gold, filigree wirework in a handcrafted floral motif, and round, brilliant cut ruby, if I'm not mistaken, made to fit a music box?
That's right. How did you know that?
I know my own handiwork anywhere. Now, how did you get a hold of it?
Oh, just a gift.
What a generous gift indeed.
Yeah.
Well, we do offer free polishings on all items purchased here, so I'd be very happy to shine her up for you. Please, bear with me for a moment.
Oh,
There was no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish.
Okay.
There we go. Shining like a firefly's rear end.
Okay, but it does seem
I'm
like...
afraid the clasp on the back has broken off. You weren't planning on wearing it soon, were you?
I wasn't planning on wearing it at all.
There's no shame in indulging yourself every once in a while. Lord knows I can appreciate the comfort and empowerment a pair of hosiery can bring. Anyway, we don't have any replacement clasps in stock, but I can put it in order. In the meantime, here's a button magnet that should hold it in place, as long as you're not too vigorous with it.
Thank you. There was no reason to use the microscope without something to magnify.
Okay.
It was an expensive-looking jeweler's microscope used to inspect gems and jewelry up close. Robbing a jewelry store really wasn't my style. The store's cash register sat on the counter. I wondered how long it had been since it was last used.
It's a magnet. Nice.
Yeah. We're going to use that for something.
Something.
Developing quite an inventory here.
Yeah.
Oops, I went back to that. No, I wanted to go to the beach.
Oh, she's gone.
Dang. I was wondering if a message in a bottle would wind up on the beach.
As I picked up the bottle, I anticipated what could be inside. A brine-stained treasure map, perhaps, or a scribbled plea from a castaway desperately awaiting rescue. Looking inside, I found it was empty. The only writing on it was the embossed glass letters of the Orangello Soda Company.
Mm-hmm. See if I can get some rum in this thing, then maybe.
Oh,
we can,
yeah.
Call it a stream.
Sure.
The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. That wasn't going to work.
Use the auger again, after all.
If the rum runners caught me break, besides, from what I could see through the window, there was nothing worth taking.
Accidentally clicked on the car instead of the barrels.
Yep, just make another hole.
Yep.
I filled the bottle with rum pouring from the barrel. Relief washed over me at the realization that I'd done it without getting caught by the 2 rum runners.
Oh.
Hey, Musket! There's someone out here!
Or so I thought.
Hey, fella, what do you think you're doing snooping around here? This is our church, you know, and it's closed.
Probably not this.
Yeah.
I'm just here to do some praying. Mainly praying that I get out of this situation without a puncture wound.
He's being a wise guy, Musket.
Time to fill him full of
Oh
lead.
no!
But boss, it's bad luck to bump someone off in a churchyard.
Now, where'd you hear a nonsensical thing like that?
I thought churches was hallowed ground, where sin and immorality would face supernatural punishment in this world or the next.
Where do you get this stuff from? I told you, I do the thinking in this partnership.
Okay, I've escaped.
Okay, thank goodness.
It looks like this might still be closed if this is even a place I can get into.
Yeah.
I poured
They
the
did
rum
mention
into
the
the
Historical Society, so I was wondering if that was the thing. Okay, I've got 2 of my things now. I'll work on getting some more whenever we do this again.
Does it autosave or?
I'm not sure. Oh, save and load.
Well,
Uh-oh.
well, hopefully it autosaves, but I guess if not, we can just play back up to this for next week.
Yeah, that's
weird.
weird.
Strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, a pretty good start.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Yeah,
Definitely have
I like
a
it
very
lot.
classic adventure game vibe.
Mm-hmm. Definitely crafted by people with a passion for these types of games.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get back to this next Friday.
Yep.
And I'll have something to play on Monday.
Mm-hmm.